Exactly. So, round out tonight, fellas. Let's go into our top five QBs going into the 2021 NFL season. So I'm gonna go with who is on your list, your fifth quarterback in this list. I'm gonna go with you first. Cool. Who's your fifth quarterback?
So my fifth quarterback, I have Josh Allen.
Hmm.
The reason I'm placing Josh Allen here, and I'll tell you the criteria I use so that when you hear my list, y'all ain't looking at me crazy. The people who's watching not looking at me crazy.
All right.
So I'm thinking about how long you've been in the league, if you're still at or near your prime, if you're ascending towards it, if we're projecting a little bit, or if you're declining away, they might push you off. You know, how you've been improving from year to year.
Mhm.
So, a guy like Josh Allen, the reason he slid in five is because he's been improving every year and he had a good year, took his team to the playoffs last year. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I have him sitting in that position. And I think he's only going to go up. Obviously, he has help because he has Stephon Diggs there, who's a great wide receiver to help him out. But I feel like he's a guy that's ascending and should be like right there in that top five at number five.
All right. Who's your number five, Maui?
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Um, there's a dude that's had some trouble, and I hadn't heard his name in a while. Is he good?
I put him on. I put him on my list because
Okay, okay,
I don't think he's
I,
gonna play this year, honestly.
okay,
But I'm just gonna say my top
okay.
five,
I
regardless,
put him. I
scandal or
put him. I
whatever.
put him. I put him at six. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Because once
okay,
once I seen his numbers, I was like, oh, see, that's just wrong. I definitely
yeah,
got to put him there. So y'all know who I'm talking about. So we
yeah,
just gonna keep it
absolutely,
moving. But
yeah,
no, at number five, I got Lamar Jackson. You know what I
okay,
mean? I don't know. I have no real reason of putting him there. I just feel like out of the rest of the guys, he is that one because there's a reason why I'm not going to put this other guy on there, but we'll talk
yeah,
about that once we get done. But definitely, I put Lamar Jackson. I still think that um, he has to work on his passing a little bit more. I think he needs probably like another weapon. But I put him at ex MVP. I put him at number five.
So my number five, call me
What
crazy,
you
but
laughing at? What you laughing at?
Tom Brady. I got Tom Brady. I
What? I'm
mean,
sorry. I'm
yes.
sorry. I'm
I
sorry. I'm
mean,
sorry.
and mine's based on last year's performance. I mean, at the tender age of 43 years old, putting up 40 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, and with a mildly sprained MCL last year, which is pretty impressive. He had a pretty much a good year. He had a few little blemishes, but other than that, he had a hell of a year and he's going to be 44. I never thought in a million years I would put a 44-year-old quarterback as a top five quarterback going into the season, but Tom Brady's there, you know. So number four, I'm gonna go to you first. Cool. Who you got your number four?
And number four, I have Deshaun Watson.
Mm.
I have Deshaun Watson at number four because I feel like he's better than Josh Allen. But he's not higher because number one, he
Mhm.
plays for a team where um, they don't have a lot of talent at wide receiver, thanks to Bill O'Brien, who, if you see my show, you know how I feel about him. But I think that if he does play, and I really think he's actually going to play, um, I don't think he's going to be in Houston, but I think he's going to play. I think he'll get everything cleared up because there's been some reports that allegedly all these women that came out and did all this stuff. Now everybody's fine with just taking a settlement. So basically, a cash grab. So if you can get a
Yeah.
cash grab to get this over with to be able to play, and you Deshaun Watson, why not? So I think he's going to. I think he's going to play. Hey, I could be wrong, but I think he's going to play. But I think that the lack of talent there at the wide receiver position is going to not allow him to be the best that he could be if he still had, the the man that they let go for pennies on the dollar.
I know. Oh my god.
Crazy. That's
Ridiculous.
what
It's
happened. That's what
ridiculous.
happened in my number four. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who's your number four, Maui?
I put Russell Wilson. Um, he's a top guy, but I was, finally, because really I don't care for Russell Wilson. You know that. I know
Yeah.
you know that, Coach. But it's all good. What I did was I gave in and I was picking him for MVP. And then JB let me have it. He was like, man, he always does well in the beginning of the season. And then he just started going downhill towards the end. So, and then, once Tom Brady won, I felt like he started telling the truth and he started speaking, say, hey, man, I need a line. I need this and blah, blah, blah. So I put him in number 4. I still think he's a top guy, but I think he's starting to step out of his shell and say, hey, man, y'all need to protect me. And I believe once they start doing that, he'll probably be number 1.
Yeah, shout out to Russ, the 2-time.
There it is.
The only 2-time Richmond County Dispatch Player of the Year. Stop, man. Probably one of the greatest prep athletes in the city of Richmond. That for you, shout out to Russell Wilson. My number 4 has got to be Deshaun Watson. Another, once again, a career year. And it's crazy to think 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And this team was 4-12. Mm-hmm. Like, this man had a career year. And then what killed me with people was he don't deserve to be in the Pro Bowl. And I'm like, what? Like,
almost 5,000 yards.
Huh?
Get that man some help.
He almost had 5,000 yards, man. Exactly. That's crazy.
And they were 4-12. And it's just like you think to yourself, like I said, how Bill O'Brien just screwed this organization, getting rid of D-Hop, like you said, for nothing. Like for
pennies on the dollar. Ridiculous.
And it's just like, it's ridiculous. I never understood that.
You throw for almost 5,000 yards, 7 interceptions, and you 4-12. Oh, don't get mad at me, coach, but of course you're going to need a massage, B. It is what it is, you know what I mean?
Well, dang, I like, man. But yeah, I think going to, like you said, he's going to, and, at once upon a time, it's like, and they'll probably get rid, like you said, the thing is, they probably will get rid of him, but I think at the same token, it's just going to be a matter of time. They're probably going to trade him. I think this whole situation is starting to kind of, it's got quiet and it's kind of has blown away extremely. So, like you said, it could be a situation where it could get mitigated and he'll be traded because, I'm hoping
this
team is in shambles.
If he plays or he gets traded and then it's about a year and a half, I'm ready for the documentary to come out so we can really hear majority all the information of what really happened. Because it sounds weird to me. You trade these other people leave, main people on the team, and then all of a sudden he asks to be traded or let go, and then all of a sudden this laundry comes out of nowhere. That's just weird to me. And
then just with the situation too, and then what she is the quarterback too is kind of telling Tyrod Taylor. Them get Tyrod Taylor, and then they end up getting the kid out of Stanford. Not Stanford. What's the quarterback? The one they got in the draft. I forgot his name, but they drafted a quarterback. I don't know if he went to Stanford, but what have you. But yeah, you look at that, it's like he'll be out. He'll be somewhere. Hopefully he don't land in the East. I have a issue if he lands in the East in Cool's lap.
Man, he's probably gonna be your quarterback, coach. He probably gonna end up being your quarterback. Oh, y'all got one? You don't want Watson? Yeah. Oh, you don't want Watson? We got one. We got one.
Yeah.
I love, Jalen Hurts. A really good player.
That's right.
But if you ask me, do I want Jalen Hurts and Deshaun Watson?
Oh, yes, a no-brainer. Yeah, but I know for us, they're gonna want a lot. Like the compensation is gonna be because we talked about I know at once upon a time, Cleveland, but Houston was looking at, 2 or 3 draft picks going forward, like a couple of our assets on the defense. And I'm like, I think we'd be all right with Fitzpatrick.
But see, that's why as a good owner or a good general manager, you say, well, hey, this ain't Deshaun Watson from last year.
Right.
We got some baggage here now. Some damage control has got to happen. So 5 picks, 4 picks, 3 picks, and 2 good players. Nah, we're not doing that now. The price has got to come down.
Exactly. Because we know he don't want to be there. So it ain't like a situation where it's like, right. And that's why I kept on saying, they was talking, you would give up a 3 first. I'm like, no.
And he in Texas, so he probably feeling on some pro-black stuff. And I'm just like, man, if you want a black coach, we got the best black coach in the league. So why don't you just come on up to Pittsburgh?
And I feel so bad
Get
for
involved in
David
that
Cullen.
argument.
I feel so bad for David Cullen. They are putting him in. They are really putting him in hell. I'm like, and I just feel for him. I'm like, I don't even know why on earth they were putting him through that.
He took the job. He knew.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. He took the job, but I know. But you know how
every job ain't a good job.
Right. Every good, like I said, every good ain't a good job. And then with him, his age, and just that team doesn't. If that team has a 5-year plan, he's 70.
Right.
Like, so I'm just being real. So you look at that situation is like, do you want to have that type of situation going forward? And like you said, like the job is a job. You're right. A job, like you said, a job is a job. But to me, you can move your family about 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
mean,
no
am I right?
But at this point, it should be
no
nobody anyway, though, right? I mean, kids got to be grown.
I know, but I'm just saying. I mean, he might got a wife.
Right.
I mean, you might want to build a house out there. I mean, you got to put it to market.
You don't want to build no house out there. You just rent you something.
I mean, you got real estate agents and stuff, but I mean, it's just the uncertainty there is kind of a like you said. But like you said, you've been waiting in the wings for 27 years. You're right. It could just be a situation where it's, hey, this might be it's the dream job for him. But I just think I'm necessarily, like you said, I know he went into this kind of knowing like the whole Deshaun Watson saga before obviously the legal things happened. But just like the circus, like they put him out on the island, talk about he almost worse than your boy. Like I don't know who was worse, Cully or your boy. And I'm just like, y'all throwing these two coaches like just throwing them in an abyss, and it's just like, why you gonna ask this man about Deshaun Watson? It's like this dude just got here. Like you can't, like you need to be talking to to his boss or his general manager, or whoever.
That's why he got the job. That's why he got the job, B.
Right. That's why. Like I said, that's why I don't like that. I don't like how they putting that boy out there. I don't like how they putting him out there like that. So did we? Yeah. So
he good with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, Mal, who's your third quarterback on your list?
I got Josh Allen. I feel like out of all the quarterbacks, that to me, like Buffalo, I'm terrified of them. They look scary, B. I felt like, out of all the ones that came out, like that came from that is, I have a category. It's hard to explain, but I felt like he is the one that's saying, like I feel like I'm almost watching like a big Aaron Rodgers. Like he seemed like he's really, 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 that's right. He going up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like Lamar got the MVP, but then he went down. You know what I mean? And then, but I still feel like, he still has that. I just hope Baltimore giving what he needs so he can move up. Same thing we said about Deshaun Watson. Last year I had a lot of the key quarterbacks in my top 5. Because I felt like these new guys hadn't proved themselves just yet. But last season, I felt like they proved themselves. So I felt like Josh Allen, I put him above Russell Wilson. That's why Russell Wilson was complaining at the end of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who you got as your third, Cool?
Well, my third, I actually have Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason I have Lamar Jackson as my third quarterback is I feel like the team's going to get better. I feel like he has that MVP, right? If you look at the people I have below him in Deshaun Watson and Josh Allen, neither one of those guys have an MVP or a deep playoff run yet. So I feel like Lamar right now is there. Now,
what up, Mike?
What I like most about him is I like the fact that he is a dual threat quarterback. In the true sense of the word, he actually can throw. He needs to work on it. I'm not saying that there's not work, but he can make throws. He can make a lot of the throws, and he could take off and run. You never know. He's taking off looking like he's running, stopping, dropping passes in. So I love the duality of the way he plays. So that's why I have him as my number 3.
Yeah. So let's see. My number 3 is going to be Josh Allen. Like you said, he's another one that's
Mhm.
ascending. What he's doing,
Right.
37 touchdowns last year, 10 interceptions, cannon of an arm.
Mhm.
Like you said, now he got the weapon and Stephon Diggs, who I think he led the league in reception, not reception, but yards. Or was it Justin Jefferson? I forgot because he did receptions or yards. I forgot which one, but either or, he has a weapon. So that's going to be definitely a daunting task, like you said, and no, it's gonna be definitely interesting. We'll definitely be packing our lunch in Orchard Park on September 26th. Definitely not looking forward to it at all. But yeah. So number two, who you got? Cool. Who's your number two quarterback?
So again, y'all gonna look at me like I'm
I'm
crazy
curious.
before I say it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My
Uh-oh.
number two is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
Reason why I have Patrick Mahomes at number two and not number one, he's been really amazing so far. But I just want to see he's had a little adversity last year. We got to the Super Bowl, lineman situation, things didn't quite go his way. So it's gonna be a little different. He was injured, he has got to clean up some things with that. So I just want to see him continue to grow. I feel like he's the guy that's gonna be number one soon, but I don't have him quite
Mhm.
there yet. But I
Right.
mean, what can you really say negative about his game except for he's still only a couple of years in as far as him playing. So you still
Right.
have an opportunity for people to get a little bit more film and try to figure out, the little things that he does, little idiosyncrasies, the little things he does before he
Yeah.
does a certain thing. Like if he turns to the left and rubs his leg before he throws a certain route, or if he drops
Right.
back a certain way, if things like that. So I think some of those things may happen and he'll have to adjust to those. But I mean, this guy's clearly a ridiculously great player in the making.
Big time. Big time. Patrick Mahomes. We got Maui.
Patrick Mahomes, same thing. I felt
Yeah.
like he lost. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he
Yeah.
lost. I'm just being real with you. He lost and he got paid. And when you get paid, that's the next thing. That's okay. You got your money. What you gonna do? And he had some, like you said, he had some obstacles. He had some things, and he lost. You know what I mean?
He did.
And so this year, this year coming up, we'll see what he gonna do. And if he do, well, I think he might stay at number two, or he. I really would think if we do this list next year, I'd probably be putting him at number one. I wouldn't be shocked, but he lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know who that dude is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my number two, it's got to go to my fellow class of 2002 guy, Aaron Rodgers. I got Aaron Rodgers, last year's MVP, and we talked about it in pre-show. Cool, where it's a little rocky in Wisconsin. Actually, the minority owner of the championship
Oh,
Milwaukee
see,
Bucks
you got a
got a
ring.
ring. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, got another ring. So take that, Brett Favre.
Just for being
But,
rich.
right, right.
But that's why I didn't put him on there because I don't know if he gonna still be with the team.
That's why I
Right.
didn't put him on
Yeah,
my list either.
I
Yeah.
put him on. I think, like you said, like you said. I thought about that too because I don't think
Right.
Deshaun Watson gonna play this year, but I could
Right.
be wrong. And, so I'm just saying going into if anything, I'm just gonna make it as if like it's nothing's gonna happen this year,
Right.
and this is going kind of take all the kind of the what if scenarios in it. So yeah, mine's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. So
If if I'd have put him down, I'd have put Rodgers at 3, and then it would have pushed like my 4 or 5 down.
yeah.
For everything
But
downward. So
yeah, my number two is Aaron Rodgers. So Mal, who's your number one quarterback heading into 2021?
He already was the top dog for a long time. So then I watched him on the shop, right? And I'm listening to him talk. And then it's like he was a complete different person where he really thinks before he speaks. And he was saying how his wife, he envies her because she can think so fast and say so quick. So definitely, I'm giving it to Tom Brady. It is what it is. I was in a barbershop a couple years ago, right? And this dude asked a question. He was like, is it Tom Brady or is it Bill Belichick? You know what I'm saying? And the argument was the system or was it Tom Brady? Well, it looked like to me it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Sorry. I really don't. Hey, Bill Belichick didn't win nothing with her before Tom Brady got there. trust me, he was a Cleveland Browns coach, and we all know how the Browns was back then, right?
Yeah.
We all remember that,
But,
don't we?
oh yeah.
But I got Tom Brady.
Yeah. Who you got, Cool? Who's your number one?
I want to say this first. I definitely no disrespect to Tom Brady, but if I were quarterbacking with that trio of
Yeah.
wide receivers and that tight end, I think I could at least make the playoffs last year. Because that was with that defense too.
Yeah,
I could have won a Super Bowl because I'm not that good, but I think I could have made the playoffs.
That's great, but at the same time, a lot of them came there because of him. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And the reason why that I like everybody dislikes him and had this narrative. But when I saw him on the shop, I was like, yo, like he looked insecure about some of the stuff that he would say, and I was like, damn. But when he on the field, he's completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'll give you my number one. So my number one, I have Russell Wilson.
Oh, thank God. What? Yo, that's what's up, man.
And I'll tell you why. Again, I did say when I started what my criteria was, right? Right. And I wanted to put that out there because when I didn't have Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, I know people's gonna be like, what is wrong with this fool? But those are great quarterbacks, and they're still really good quarterbacks. But I think we're starting to see some of these younger guys and a guy like Wilson who's still, I think, near the end, but still kind of in his prime.
Yeah.
And I think if you're looking at the guys that I've put at 2, 3, 4, and 5, those are all younger players. They're still on the rise. I think we're seeing Russell like at that level, but still he hasn't started to drop yet. He may no longer be ascending, but he hasn't started descending yet. And you think about the fact of what you were saying earlier about him, he hasn't really ever had a line. You know, he just got the best receivers ever had, DK Metcalf. He's got a pretty good, solid receiving core now. I mean, he's back there running for his life, calling backyard plays. Run over there, you know, and throwing the ball and just running around. He's had to do so much for that team to be successful that I couldn't make a list of top 5 quarterbacks and not give him, you know, that top spot based on that stuff. And like I said, there's other guys that I didn't put on the list that could be there, but you know, I thought about what I wanted my criteria to be to get my top 5, and this is what I came up with.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, Cool, as far as the weapons, as far as what Tom Brady has associated. Yeah, you would have made the playoffs, but that vaunted Washington football front four would have took you down the end.
I would have just handed the ball off. I would have handed the ball off. Right. You know what
I'm
saying? Yeah. So, number one.
You bet not.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, thank God. Ooh. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Who you thought I was going to have?
All right. No, I'll tell you in a minute. Keep going,
Coach. Tyler Henneke? Tyler Henneke? But no. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes. And then people, you know, like you said, to the point where him losing in that Super Bowl. But the crazy thing about that, even in the weirdest thing about it, he was running for his life, but he had some pretty great throws in that Super Bowl. Like, I mean, he was like, and that's what when we say Eric Fisher was like when he went down against Buffalo in that AFC Championship game, I was like, oh, that's not good. Like, and you think about it, if he would have had like now with them having like Orlando Brown, which I don't know why in the hell did the Ravens pretty much handed them the Super Bowl trophy, because now you got Orlando Brown coming in and those precious seconds that you know. That you look at where he threw it to what was it? What's the face? Cheetah. What's his face? Tariq Hill. Remember he one of the pass hit his helmet and what have you. He missed some errant. And you think about it, if he would have had maybe a 15 tenths of a second of protection, like those things would have connected potentially. So you just look at what he did in that Super Bowl, even though in a loss. He still did all right. I mean, even though they didn't connect, but just imagine if he would have had protection. That's the thing. And then he gonna get the other guy back, the doctor. What's his name? I forgot it. But he'll get that. The line gonna be straight, so they're gonna be good again. So he'll be back again, getting that straight. Because now, I mean, you get a considerable upgrade in Orlando Brown, and I'm just like. I still think to myself as a Raven, I'm like, I would be so pissed off. Like, you
If
getting
I'm
rid of him.
Lamar Jackson, I'd be so pissed off.
Right. Even more so. Right. He would be doubly. If that's a word, doubly. But yeah, so yeah, definitely a great list of top 5 QBs, fellas. So let's put a